Welcome to the LinkedIn live event. So what if there's sitting $59,000 in your LinkedIn network right now? Not someday, not with some kind of complicated strategy, but actually right now. How many of you would like to know how to get that money in your bank account? Anyone? I see Kevin, Yehuda, and really great if you can have your camera on because it's nice to see each other. Makes it more engaging. Tori says yes, yeah, I agree. Jamie, Dana, thank you for joining. Brian, that's really great. Anyone else? Mashik, I hope you pronounced your name correctly. My name is Shemaya, and I've helped specifically B2B business owners and founders to generate leads. No paid ads, no cold calling, no posting content every day, really a system that gets you in front of the right people. And first of all, I want to recognize you for being here. There are 100 other things you could be doing right now, and yet you showed up. And really, that says a lot about you because you're willing to learn. You're willing to do something to make things better in your business, in your life. So thank you for being here. And here's what I'll ask of you. Like, the training is packed. So I'm going to go fast. If I talk too fast, feel free to let me know. I have my chat open. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't interact, because you should. Those who participate, you just get more value, and it will also help me to be more specific and address the things that you may need. At the end, we also have a Q&A. Here's the truth. Clever people recognize the gems. Those who don't get it, they tend to criticize. You only find what you're looking for. So if you look for gems that you can apply in your business, you will find them. But if you're looking for things to complain about, you will find those too. I've had actually somebody in this training, he attended, he looked for the gems, applied what I taught, and he closed $10,000 in new sales just by what he got from this event. So it really is very valuable. But nothing valuable comes easy. So I do recommend, as I mentioned, participate and stay on and take action by what you get for today, after today. Now, really quick question. I'd like to see, like, what is the lifetime value of a client for you? So maybe you make a one-time sale, but what do they buy after? Maybe you have a SaaS software that they buy monthly. Do you know this number? Do you know what the lifetime value of a client is for you? And make sure you find the chat. Say hello. From the great state of Texas. I love Texas. I love Texas people, so. 100 to 150,000, Shannon, that is amazing. Anybody else? Adaptive testing, behavioral health assessment, 150,000 plus, 50,000, 15,000. Okay, that's really great values. Anyone else? Who else do we have? Jeremiah, 100,000, 100,000 to 250,000. Those definitely are value. That shows that the value of each lead and each prospect has for you. And if you're looking at now, how many clients do you currently have? And how many clients which could you fulfill right now? How many more clients can you take on? Maybe you can add those numbers. And Gabriel, you had ferries per client. Maybe you can share the range just to get an idea who we have in the room. And 50K open, okay. Could handle double. Shannon, wow, that is great potential for your company. 3 to 5 new clients. Okay, perfect. Gabber, 50 to 200,000. Jersey, welcome, Fred. Jersey Shore is beautiful. I've lived there for a little bit. 2 more, perfect. About 40 on contract, some miscellaneous. New Jersey here as well. Stephanie, welcome. Really great. Now let's do the math. If you look, Timothy, I don't see the lifetime value of your client. Oh, 100 to 250. Let's say 100,000. And you can take on 3 more clients. That means that if you have a system that brings you 3 more clients, or 3 to 5, is $300,000 to $500,000 is basically like the potential what you have. Let's go into, yes. So before we dive in, let me tell you exactly what you're going to work away with today. Number 1, the math. I'm going to show you exactly how much revenue could be hiding in your LinkedIn network right now. And most people are actually shocked when they see the number. They'll show you the hidden feature. There's a little known LinkedIn feature that turns your existing connections into sales conversations and continues to grow also your network. And most people scroll right past it every single day. Also cover the missing link. This is the big one. The answer that's been hiding from you, that's been preventing you from converting LinkedIn into a sales engine, and exactly what to do to fix it. So how many can relate? 1 good month, 2 bad ones. You close a deal, you feel great, you think, okay, we're rolling now, then nothing. And you're lying there at night wondering, okay, how can I make payroll this month? Can I cover the mortgage? What happens if next month is another bad one? You're afraid to hire because you don't really know if you have something that you can build on. You want to grow, but you can't really plan without knowing what's in a pipeline, what's coming next. No pipeline, no system. If the phone isn't ringing, there's nothing you can do because you're counting on maybe referrals. You hate the feeling because you're depending on somebody else to bring you business. I've seen a lot of founders that have amazing products and they're counting on networking. Well, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and it can be very time consuming, and it's still great. I mean, I'm definitely a proponent of it. I would just recommend, you just realize the challenge that comes with it. And here's the one that really gets you. It doesn't matter what you do. Sometimes it feels that something is off and you can't put your finger on it. Something worked and then it stops working. It's very difficult to actually control the outcome. If any of that sounds familiar, you are in the right place today. Anybody would say, yeah, I have any or all of these? Either by show of hand on the screen or with the yes in the chat. Red colors, I have revenue. Okay, sell them. That's a great target. 5 to 6. Endless amount of users and businesses. Just launching. Anybody can relate? I don't see any hands yet. Nobody has this issue with fluctuating income. I'm sure some of you, I see Michelle like laughing. I say some of you can relate. I see Dana. Yes, okay, thank you for being honest, Selam. Totally. And it's good. I appreciate your participation. Means a lot. So this system is designed for you if you check these boxes. You sell SaaS, professional service, or a high ticket item. Ideally for LinkedIn, 2,000 plus deals is the best. You have an offer that already converts. You've closed clients, you get results for them. You're the decision maker, or you can introduce me to the person who is. You're done with referral dependency and this feast of famine months. And you're willing to show up, which proven you are, and do the work. Because this is a system, it's not a magic wand. And the truth is, it's not your fault, it's fixable. The vital piece that's missing just haven't been shown to you yet. There's a reason that some people are very successful in LinkedIn. They turn it into a revenue engine while others really spinning their wheels. Once you see it, everything starts to make sense and what to do next becomes obvious. And that's what we do today. So let me show you how. Are you sitting on a gold mine? So maybe how many connections do you have in the chat? Like more or less 10,000. Founder has 15,000, 14,000, 30,000. Jamie, you're sitting on a gold mine there. 2,200 to 20,000, 6,000. Michael. Okay, let's take Michael. He's the closest to my example here. Like in this case, my calculation was with 100. So let's take Michael with these 6,000 connections. There are 153 actively people searching right now. They have the budget, they have a deadline, they have a high intent, they're ready to buy. 357 would be open to a conversation. They know they need something, they need a change, but they need more education, another touch point. They need something to get them in the pipeline with you. And there's another 1,530 watching you right now. They gather information. They likely need you in the next maybe 6 to 24 months. So they're watching your content. They're basically looking around. So now of the 153, if you close just 5%, the other people are still in the pipeline building up. And your lifetime value would be 8,500. I was very conservative here. You'd be looking at 59,500. Now, some of you have way higher lifetime values, but then maybe the percentage maybe is lower because it can be very specific. So still, you're looking at a lot of money that are people interested and would be ready to buy from you, not someday, but today, in your network right now. And I was in your shoes. I thought I was running a business while in reality, the business was running me. I got clients from referrals, networking events, like you make it go right. Seminars, meeting people, connecting on LinkedIn. I was very good booking virtual coffees. But I didn't realize that without the system that brings a new business consistently, that fills your pipeline, and with the pipeline you fill your calendar, I was one breath away from everything fall apart. And I didn't see it because life was amazing until it wasn't. It was a beautiful morning. I was riding Shanti, my horse, in the mountains of Ecuador in South America. Incredible view, fresh air, wonderful people. I'd moved there 4 months prior to do missionary work, and I didn't speak a word Spanish when I arrived. I didn't know anybody, but I really wanted to help do something meaningful. Then one day, a Saturday afternoon, I came home from the market. I let Shanti, my horse, out in the field, and I put back the bags on the table and sat down. I was suddenly feeling so sick, and it just got worse as it got dark during the night. The pain was unbearable. The fever, the cramps, it was getting worse and worse. I really wondered, if I die in this remote area, how long is it going to take for my family to find my body? Well, fortunately, I'm still here to tell the story. Because the next day, the neighbor came by, the sister of my landlord, came by. She took me to the hospital and they gave me this horrible IV intravenous antibiotics. It turns out I had a severe salmonella infection, and it was horrendous because for 3 days he had this IV. It was like being on fire from the inside. And for months after, I was so weak, I wasn't able to function, let alone work. Like, I remember my bank account was so low. I think I had $700 left 1 month. Like, my income was $400. So when my fiance proposed, I believe this was God's answer to my prayer. I packed up my life from Ecuador. I flew to the US, excited with the preparations for the wedding. And then a few weeks later, we had lunch at a Mexican restaurant in California, beautiful Californian day. Out of the blue, Jonathan looked at me while I was looking at the menu, and he said, "The wedding is off." I'm like, wait, what? 2 weeks before the wedding, Jonathan broke up with me. I had given up my residency for Ecuador, my horse, my dream, to be with him in California. And then in the months leading up to the wedding, he'd convinced me. He said, "No, don't worry about your business. You don't have to work. I will nurture you back to help. He will take care of me." And then he dumped me, cruel, cold. I was devastated, broke, homeless, living out of my suitcase, really. I couldn't stay in the US. I couldn't go back to Ecuador. I was heartbroken. I was so angry. $200 left in my bank account. 1 month, I made $700 total. And that's when I met Mayor Ezra, who became my mentor. He became my friend. At the time, I was in such a low point in my life. I didn't even know, could he still help me? I'd gone to a lot of seminars, like Tony Robbins, Harv Eker, you name it. It was great. But it didn't bring something like that was sustainable. He was so wealthy, successful, and I was living out of a suitcase, but I had no choice. I had to give it a shot. I knew if I wanted to make a change, at least I could have a conversation. Like, why not? What do I have to lose? I knew he had results, that he had a proven track record, and I wasn't really excited, but there was a little spark of hope left. Maybe something could be done. What's fascinating is I learned the business truth from him, I applied them, and that's what I used to use this unique LinkedIn system. And here's what happened. It was shocking. Look at this number, 39,519 registrations for the LinkedIn events for free leads. Now, how many of you have seen small business owners with this number of attendees like we have today? We have 70 people live here in the room. We had more people registered, but consistently we have between 50 and 100 people showing up. Now imagine what this could do for your sales. If you had a system that would drive traffic to you, get you in front of 10, 20, 30 decision makers. It also depends on your obviously your target market and your offer, but not random attendees, not tire kickers, but actually the exact people who can buy from you. How would that change your business, your sales? Really? And the system, it didn't just change my business, it changed my life. There were months when family situations pulled me away completely, where you're not really focused on sales, but the leads kept coming in. The calls were still being booked, and we still were signing new clients. The system was working even when I wasn't. And that's what I would love for you to have. That when life happens, and it will, your business keeps moving. That's what it does for my clients, and it can do the same for you. Because what's another month without a system to fill your pipeline costing you? And on the other hand, the opposite, imagine leads coming in every single day without paying for ads. A pipeline that doesn't depend on referrals, prospects who already have a certain level of trust because you know what you can offer to them before you even get on a call, which can then lead to consistent revenue and other roller coaster months. And that's what this system does. And let me show you, because as I mentioned, it can vary per industry. Christine Colucci, she's the founder of R&M, they're a branding company. Her events started quite small with 10, 20 CMOs in the room. And she's shared now.
I believe we had about 125 RSVP yes, and a little over 70 attended. That was my biggest event, but I have been drawing in at least about 50 in attendance for the last couple of months. And then for Edward's event, it was only his third month. We started November, so we did November, December, January, so it's his fourth February. We had 250 RSVP and 120 actually showed. So people are very interested in his topic, yeah.
So it shows the potential. Here is another example. Every event, she says, we walk away with 2 or 3 clients, about 60,000 extra in additional sales, because they offer virtual assistants. So they have VA packages between 2,500 and 11,000 per month. So if a client stays with them, the value of a client is about 30,000 per year.
We generally, from every LinkedIn event, will get about 4 to 5 leads. People who want to right on the spot say, I want to chat, or they call me right after and say, I'd like to speak. And we at least walk out with 2 or 3 clients.
Now, what is this LinkedIn event sales system? What is it and how can you use it? It's a little known LinkedIn feature that's worth gold. Most business owners don't know it exists. I did some research and I discovered that even most users are not aware of it, and very few business owners know how to use it and use it successfully. But the ones who do are quietly filling their calendars every single month while everyone else is still chasing referrals. I call it, designed in the LinkedIn event sales system. It's a 4-phase repeatable revenue engine designed specifically for B2B companies. Phase number 1 is your LinkedIn profile. Your LinkedIn profile is your 24/7 sales rep. It's really important though to make sure that you have a conversion optimized profile. And there's 2 different purposes for it, and this is important to understand. Number 1, you need to speak directly to your ideal prospect, so that if somebody who was interested, who could potentially buy from you, like I showed you before, people looking, that they understand you are the answer, you are the solution to their problem. The other purpose is you need to communicate in a way in your headline, in your bite section, to LinkedIn's algorithms that it sees you as the expert or a professional, knowledgeable in your industry, because it will look at your profile, it will then look at your content, your posts, to determine, okay, does it make sense? And based on that, they will share your content or they will just put you back in the box. And this is a big change. They just rolled it out not very long ago. It, for a lot of people, significantly reduced their exposure and their reach. Well, if your profile is really optimized, it can work for you while you sleep. It can sell for you while you are in calls, book calls for you, and it builds trust before the first message is ever sent. People will look at your profile to determine, do I want to connect with Jamie? Do I want Brian in my network? They may decide they can land on Stephanie's profile and say, oh, I need to send her a connection request. This sounds good. However they find you, if your profile is not strong and clearly communicating the problem you solve, how you help, who you've helped in the past, you're missing the biggest opportunity. I'm just checking. Okay. Phase 2, fish in a stocked pond. So stop fishing in the ocean. Fish in a stocked pond. Your network is important because it's the people you can communicate with. You can send them messages, you can engage with them. So you want to stay in touch with the people you have. Like before I saw you have like 20,000 connections, but when is the last time they've heard from you? So you want to keep the relationship going, stay in front of them because they may not need you now, but maybe in 12 months or in 14 months, they are looking for what you have to offer. So that's one. The second one is, as you grow your network, obviously you want to connect with the exact right people, the decision makers, the potential buyers, the ones who can actually say yes. And so what we do is there's two different tools. You may be familiar with Sales Navigator, which is a great tool. It allows you to target specific industries or job titles or specific geography. And then we also use Apollo, so we can get the leads from there. There we also have the email address, so we can combine it. Sales Navigator, I think one of the things I've seen the most is that people have Sales Navigator, they do the targeting, but then they feel like, it's really not worth the investment. It's not bringing me any leads. Now, Sales Navigator is part of the whole machine. It's an important part of the system, because with Sales Navigator, when you have a paid account, it's basically the paid membership of LinkedIn for people that are new to LinkedIn. It allows you to target, but it also allows you to be more active. If you have a free account, makes sense, right? If you're a free client, LinkedIn will quickly say, okay, you've sent enough connection requests for the week, or will just limit the number of profiles you can see. With a paid account, you have more options. You can target people so you know who to message. But you need more than just that, because how many of you have time, if you have 10, 20,000 connections, even if you have 3,000, to go out and then message them every day, to follow up, to build your network and actually send the 100 connections requests per week that you can send. On average, you can send 100 connection requests. With our system, we actually found a way you can send 300, 2 to 300, if your acceptance rate is good. So that already increases tremendously. And then make sure that you follow up and you stay in touch. Now, using Apollo, it's great because you also get emails. So we layer the email outreach on top. So it's a combination where we're using LinkedIn, verified emails, a sequence follow-up, so that our prospects hear from us in multiple places. That's what you really want. Yeah, the only way it works is if your profile is pulling its weight and positioning you correctly when people come, that they do want to connect with you. The other thing to keep in mind if your profile sucks and people don't accept your connection request, if your connection acceptance rate is very low, LinkedIn will reduce your connections. So as I said, on average is 100. If you have a good acceptance rate, it can be 200-300 with the right strategy and tool. If it's low, you may only get 50 a week. So it varies, which of course is better if you have more connection request acceptance. Okay. Oh, thank you, Tony. I appreciate your comment. Phase number 3. The event is the magnet. Your event attracts, warms, and qualifies. It attracts the ideal prospects. You send invitations through your LinkedIn profile, and obviously we promote it in different ways as well. And when people get an invitation for your event, obviously they're going to check out your profile. If you get a connection request, usually first thing you do is check the profile. If you get an email, if you get an invitation for an event or a newsletter, first thing you do is like, who is this person? Now with the event, LinkedIn allows you to send 1,000 connection requests per week. So your visibility is 10, 20x of the people looking and saying, okay, who is this? And if you set it up correctly, LinkedIn promotes your event for you. I've had people that coming from different places because they just were on LinkedIn and it promoted my event on LinkedIn lead generation. Number 2, it warms ideal prospects. You're here. Now, Mashak, if he and I end up on a phone call, he already has an idea about who I am, what I offer. Same with Fred and Denise. You already know how I work, a little bit about my background. So it builds the relationship. They see your content, they read your emails, and by the time that we get on a call, you already have a kind of a relationship established. Number 3, and this is really valuable because none of us, we have time to fill our calendar with leads that can't even close or just not a good fit. The event helps you qualify and source the ideal prospects. So we have a lot of people registered. People show up already you can tell these people take action. People who show up to a live event, they are already half sold. Number one, again, when they register, people raise their hand and say, I'm interested in your topic. I know that John is looking to generate leads with LinkedIn. If not, he would not spend the time here. So that's the first thing. They're registering, they're showing I'm interested in your topic. So even the people that couldn't make it live today, we still message them. And I've discovered that you can book, half of my clients never made it to the event, but they signed up. And then my team follows up, we book a call, they can still buy. And then the people that do show up, like here, you already pre-qualified, you chose to be in the room. You're no longer a cold lead. It's a buyer with their hand raised. And also we're collecting a bit of information you in the process, as you've noticed. So I know Denise, is she a good person to talk to? Dean, what do you do? Like I have more background information. So it becomes much more efficient when you want to book calls. But keep in mind again here, your profile is the first thing that every registrant clicked. And if it's invisible to the algorithms, people won't see your content, have your event attendees. They may not even decide, they may decide not to sign up for your event just because your profile doesn't position you as somebody who knows what they're talking about. So it's a pipeline you'll never see. Phase number 4, the event ends, the sales begins. This is the fun part. All of this works like together synergetically. Most people think that the event is the sales process, but it's actually not. The event is the magnet. It's what draws people to you to start the sales process. It's part of the marketing. But really, the sales happens in the 48, 72 hours after, like in the week after, really. Because after that, you know who they are. You can have a personal touch point with every call calendar and not a dead-end conversation graveyard. I'm sure, like Kevin, if I send him a connection request and say, hey, thanks for being at my event, Kevin will know who Shemaya is. John will know, she will know, like, okay. And then, it's not that, if you found something valuable today, obviously chances are much more likely that you say, okay, let's talk and find out, how can I help you? Maybe you're not a good fit, but I can show you one thing that you can improve to get better results. So when they come to your profile, the question is, what do they see? Do you build trust or create doubt? And the people who are not here today, of course, they move into next month's event pipeline automatically. We'll re-invite them, we're building the database, and that is the full system. 4 phases, 1 repeatable engine. And here you see, it's a bit hard to see, but this is basically one of my clients' calendar. It says 21 appointments booked from his LinkedIn event that week. So that was amazing. Okay, I'll just take a quick pause. Any questions or feedback on just this section before we continue? Anybody? Okay, thank you, Brianna. Really nice. I appreciate your support. Could you repeat that? What if you have more acceptance rate? So Rakesh, if your acceptance rate is higher, LinkedIn will give you more people you can connect. You can send more connection requests. Now they don't have like a manual exactly the numbers, but their algorithms calculated. So if I send connection requests, then the average acceptance rate is between 15 and 20%. You're doing good. Now in this case, if I send you connection request and you accept it, usually from events like 60-70%, because I know there's something that we both have in common. Now LinkedIn will then, instead of 100 a week, it will say, okay, you can have 180 because I'm connecting with real people. What LinkedIn wants is they want to be a valuable platform. So people that are just spamming and sending connection requests to random people, that's not really what they want. They want it to be valuable so that their platform remains valuable. Yes, again, that's also seen. They look at the connection request rate because that means that the person knows you or not. Follow-up engagement rate, on average, is also 15 to 20%. So anything higher than that is good, anything lower is not so good. And that's why the messaging, and there's a specific technology, specific formula or format for the messaging to create that engagement. If you copy and paste, I'm sure you've had those too, like those spam messages where it just feels like just copy and paste an essay about who they are and selling you, then you don't get responses. Yes, that's true, Amir. So LinkedIn events let you invite 1,000 invites per week. That makes it cool because you're in front of 1,000 people per week. Connection request can well be for 200 per week for you if you have a big network, a good connection request, you've been active on it for years. Somebody new that just joining, they will not get 200 per week. You kind of have to prove yourself. So your profile must be your 24/7 sales rep. Let's look at an example. Your profile can work while you sleep, can book calls and sell while you are on calls or busy doing other things. And the question is it connecting people to connect and engage with you or making them click away? Now here you can see Adrian Harpel-Vezel. He's really great. He's an incredible professional, a business technology advisor, a blank gray background. You don't really know, like, why would you want to connect with him? It doesn't show why anybody should care. Where here, as you can see, he decided to focus on law firms, protecting law firms. He does cyber defense, and we updated his LinkedIn headline. You see, keeping your law firm and clients safe from the data breaches, hackers, and viruses. So it's immediately clear, I mean, obviously for a law firm to have cybersecurity in place, so your client's data is not out in open. And here's what most founders don't know, that in this new LinkedIn algorithm that LinkedIn rolled out, it's called 360 Brew, it changed how you get seen. The profile is the foundation of your visibility. It reads your headline, about section, experience, even who you engage with, and then decides whether to show your content to the decision makers that you want to connect with or not. And when you really have a look online, and I'm sure you've had the same, most profiles you look at right now are really not so strong and they're not really visible under the new rules. It's not bad, it's just not built for the new algorithm. So there are 3 specific things you have to fix to make the new algorithm work for you instead of against you. And those things combined with making sure that you communicate to your ideal customer why they should connect with you, why should they engage with you. And that's why phase 1 is non-negotiable. If your profile is strong, it will make all the difference. If your profile is not good, the whole system, it won't really take off. So the profile is, if you don't get anything, one thing from this, please optimize your profile, like even the background banner, it makes it look so much better. Once your profile is fully optimized, the system can work and you can build from there. Here is an example of an about section. It's not a CV, and it's a bit of a trick because it says about, but it's not about you. Here you can see it said, I failed to save the life that meant the most to me. As a general practitioner, doctor in the army in Angola, family physician, and head of the emergency room, I've saved thousands of lives. You see, the story kind of pulls you in. I was running my own family practice in Dawson Creek, British Columbia. Life was great. Then one day my world collapsed. My high school sweetheart and wife was diagnosed with breast cancer. After watching her suffer for a year, she died in my arms. She was only 55. I was devastated, and that's how my quest began. Now, his acceptance rate and his engagement rate is very high because it draws people in. And what he does now, obviously he's still a medical doctor, but he's focused on helping people in a more holistic way, finding the source of the problem rather than just prescribing medication. But if you look, you can feel the emotion, and that's what make people connect with you. And then after this, the section goes, this is not the whole thing, I just keep a short part. It goes into how he helps, what he does, his credentials, success story. So you then get the story about who you are and then what you can bring for people. Okay, I will get back to the chat in a little bit. I just want to get to the next section, okay? As I mentioned, the event is the magnet. This is what happened when you've built a system that works. You can see here, this was marketing love languages, the secret to endless leads, 802 attendees, really, 801 leads, 43 new clients that he closed, 14,300 in intro sales in his first month. Now, obviously, the 43 clients, they offer coaching. It's a really good company. They offer coaching and training, so clients continue to buy from them. That's not the lifetime value of the client, that was just their first sale. How many of you would like results like that? And maybe for your company, 43 new clients in a month doesn't make sense. I understand that. But the principle that you have new leads and new people buying from you, how many of you say, yeah, I see the opportunity for my company? Anybody? Yes, okay, Jamie, thank you, appreciate it. Because the system works. Now, here's the truth also I have to share with you about Gal's results. It wasn't luck, it wasn't talent. He also has a rock solid business foundation that we built the system on. And that's what makes the difference. It's the system works, but how big you can grow and how long it takes to scale and see the results entirely depends on the foundation that you already have in place. Because as you imagine, you cannot build a high rise on the foundation of a garage. So the stronger your foundation, the faster you see results and the quicker you can grow. That every single person will have leads coming in depending on like what they're selling, their business model, it can vary. And what I've also seen is that, people spend money with agencies, courses, mastermind, like tens of thousands of dollars in LinkedIn ads without getting any real ROI. In this case, the system works. You have the leads and you can continue running it. Once you have the system, you keep running it. You don't have to continue paying like with ads. So in our case, what we do, what makes it different also, before we build the system for your business, we diagnose, so we see the root cause of the revenue problem you may have, and we make sure that we provide the correct solution. It's like if you go to the doctor and he prescribes you surgery or medication without even running any single test, you walk straight out of the office and never go back. Yet in business, we do it all the time. We buy something without actually understanding what is the real problem. In our case, we don't do that. Before we build out your system, we diagnose first. So there's a few key things that obviously always need to be in place, but we really want to make sure we're addressing the right problem. So if you're ready to build your LinkedIn event sales system, let's start with the strategy session. I have a special bonus for the first 7 people today. I will offer you a personalized LinkedIn profile review, which would be normally $297. So here's how it works. We meet, I look at your business, like you need to explain it with your offer, who your ideal buyer is, and then I can look at it and say, okay, where is your opportunity in LinkedIn? What do I see? It's not generic advice. It's after the meeting though. I will record a video with your roadmap and see like what are opportunities on LinkedIn or what can you change that you're currently doing to increase results immediately. This is not just a free consultation. You walk away with a roadmap really, an action that you can take to improve things. Now, Kara will put the link in the chat. Thank you very much. It's only for the first 7 because it is quite time consuming. So if you're interested, if you're considering and saying, hey, this could be what for me, definitely book your meeting if you're qualified. And really the difference is, are you taking action? Are you gonna have a full calendar in the next 3 to 6 months, filling it up, continue to planting seeds, filling your pipeline? Or are you going to be in the same place a year from now when we meet again? The question is, the founders who take action are the ones who wins. The one who just keeps past scrolling are the ones who stay stuck. The question is, which one are you? Now, if you are the person to take action and realize that every day your profile is lacking, your premium client is scrolling by and can't see that you are the solution for his problem, and you've booked, even if you booked a call or not, but maybe you realize I'm not really ready to book a call, but there's something I need to do, because everything you saw today builds on the foundation, which is your profile. If it's not built for LinkedIn's new algorithm, your content basically disappears into a black hole. If it's not optimized for decision makers to see the value that you bring, you may never ever see them again because they won't accept your connection and they disappear. So it's the 2 problems, but it's the same answer, same solution, which is fixing your profile. Now, if I told you you could invest $500, it would be worth it because it makes all the difference in the results. One client pays that 200 times over. Now, the investment is only $97. It's a live class. It's the LinkedIn Visibility Masterclass, the 3 profile fixes that make LinkedIn's algorithm work for you and increase your acceptance rate. You get the framework that I use for my paying clients, that create a magnetic headline, how to create an about section that build trust before the first message, and what are the key things you need to have in place. Now already for 97 it would be still. Today only the first 20 people, it will only be 27. I really want to collect more success stories for the LinkedIn visibility and showing how well it works with the new LinkedIn algorithm. And the foundation is everything. So it's less than lunch really. And if you book the strategy session, I recommend you join this one too. It can't be the price. I mean, if you can't afford $27, then LinkedIn is really not the platform for you. So the link is in the chat. Definitely get on, and I recommend get it with the prompts because it will save you hours of like looking at the blank screen. It will make it so much easier. Now let's continue. This is Shaba Okara. He's the founder of PetOcare. He has over 60,000 followers on LinkedIn. Look at his headline. You can see, as an example, solving care agencies 2 a.m. on-demand staffing issues. Founder of PetOcare, helping agencies fill fully compliant shifts in under 30 minutes. It's very specific for the UK, the system that they have there, which you can see. It's very clear, one problem, crystal clear for his ideal prospect. Like others may say like, that's not me, fine. But for care agencies, they know exactly that's the problem that they want to solve. And that's also what 360 Brew rewards, the algorithm. And it's what care agencies struggling with. So they want to know like, okay, so how does it work? And here you can see what happens when the profile is clear, the content travels. Over 10,000 likes, 483 comments. So you can imagine there's a lot of people seeing this post to get this kind of engagement. Hundreds of comments. And here's another one, 14,433 comments. Like it really works well together, combined with the event. And here you can see his event, the future of NHS care, AI's impact on your CQC rating. When he runs an event, 80 of the exact decision makers he serves, are interested. And I know that he even booked appointments before his event. He just started reaching out to people. That's the LinkedIn event sales system in action. You own the other benefit is also that every person that registered gives you their contact details. So now you own the database. If you are on LinkedIn, like LinkedIn doesn't like you, at any time they can click a button. So especially if you have a big network, export your connections so you don't lose your whole network. Make sure you own the relationship and you own the database. And that is why LinkedIn events are so powerful. It's really the most effective tool to turn your connections into sales conversations and continue to expand, getting in the door with new people. And this is exactly what changed everything for Nurek. Meet Nurek, he's the founder of Recruiter Outsourcing. When he first met me, he was booking one appointment every 2 weeks. So you can imagine he was struggling. We built the LinkedIn event sales system for his business, and it's been a complete game changer. I'll let him tell you the story himself.
I started working with Shemaya. We really had maybe like one appointment every 2 weeks, and then we were desperate, and I tried to sell as much as possible that appointment. And if you lose it, then you're always constantly looking for a link, not certain about what to do, don't have really a budget to grow because I have to rely on sometimes luck. But then once I joined Shemaya's first webinar, it was like 200 people attending, and that's when it was closed, and I bought her program the same day. So, and then ever since, we've been posting webinars, and right now, we actually, our company grew by like 30%. We got 3 more team members, and we have a whole strategy. Like I take care of marketing with these webinars, and we book about 5 to 20 appointments a week now.
So you can imagine what a difference that makes for your business. This was about 6 months, I would say, after he started implementing the system. And you can see later all going like where he's now. His profile is his 24/7 salesperson. I'll just show you so you have the visual of this case study. We hire, onboard, and train elite virtual assistants. If you're looking for the virtual assistant, it's immediately clear what he can do for you. The only virtual assistant headhunter you need. And this is the event that he set up, a practical guide to scaling with AIs and VAs. Clear title, clear buyer, no more scrambling from one networking event to the next, like praying the next referral comes in before payroll is due. He actually has a system. If you then get referrals, it's perfect. Obviously, my word of mouth is best. I love when clients refer me new business. Networking events are wonderful, but it's great if you have a system that you don't have to depend on it. It's his event that generates the leads, his team that follows up, and then he has a salesperson that closes for him. So it's a system that runs without him being in every conversation. And yet you can see the results. I'll show you the next slide where he started and then after 12 months in. Look at this, it's the same Nurek, same business. 12 months after we first met and we started working together. Before, $2,500 per month in net profit, 2 to 4 sales calls per month. The company was just him and a VA, and the situation was stressed, to say the least. I mean, $2,500, you can't really survive on that in the US with the wife and son. His sales came from referrals and cold outreach. After 12 months, $18,000 plus per month, because a lot is recurring, a net profit and continue to grow, 60 plus sales calls per month. The company has 9 people now, including a business partner who wanted to invest with him just because he built a LinkedIn webinar system. So if you're ready to build your LinkedIn event system, I really recommend, let's start with the strategy session. As I mentioned today, the first 7 people that book a call, I will offer you the personalized LinkedIn profile review. Here's another example just to show what's possible and the differences of different clients. This is Matthew McKinley. He shows the power of the LinkedIn event sales system. 100 people from his network raised their hand. They basically said, hey, that sounds interesting to me. I want to know more. And then see what happens when he ran his event.
I sent out, I think 1,000 connections. We had about 100 actually register, and we got 1 sale out of it. Since I'm selling a very high ticket, 5-figure B2B system, it's between $10,000 and $12,000. Just getting that 1 client from the process was really like a big win. And I also have about 99 other people to follow up with that now know about the product.
Now, how many of you would say, well, great, like one event, yeah, generated $12,000 extra just from the one event, the one sale, and he still filled his pipeline with other leads. The question is, if not me, then who? If not now, then when? And keeping in mind that 94% of the failure is the result of the system, not the poor people. It's a great quote from Edward Deming. He was instrumental in rebuilding the economy in Japan after the Second World War by teaching businesses to succeed by fixing their systems. So if you're stressed, you're worried, maybe you feel afraid sometimes, angry, I understand, I was in your shoes, I know what it's like. When your calendar is empty, not because you're not good at what you do, because you know you are, that if only you could get in front of more of the right people. How many of you would say, yeah, if I can get in front of more people, I can easily double my sales? Mohammed, would you say that's the case? Brian? If you would talk to more people, would you close more people on your services or your product? Yes, Brian says yes. Jamie? Oh yes, sell them. Yeah. Well, the problem is you don't have the system. It's really simple when you know how to fix it. And that's what we will build together. So ready to build your LinkedIn event sales system? Let's start, let's meet. We can talk and see, like, how would it work for you? The bonus for the first 7 people today is the personalized LinkedIn profile review, the value of $297, because after our conversation, for the first 7 people only, I will then create a video for you where I walk you, I kind of create a blueprint or a roadmap. Okay, what is something that you can do right now that will help you improve your results with LinkedIn? And so even if we decide that we're not a good fit to build the full system together, you still get value from the profile review. The ones who take action are, in life, are the ones who win. The one who just procrastinated and say, I'll get to it later, they usually are the ones that stay stuck. So the question is, which one are you? And for those that feel like, I'm not ready to build the whole system, and even if you are, join the LinkedIn Visibility Masterclass. It's specifically designed to help you fix the profile mistakes that makes it difficult for people to find you and for LinkedIn's algorithm to work for you. Your investment normally for a masterclass would be $97. The first 20 people only can join for $27. And it has I forgot even to mention, it has a money back guarantee. So if you come, you actually stay with it, you allow me to help you work on your program, because it's a masterclass, right? So it's not like this where I do all the talking. It's really interactive. You go to work, it's like you need to come up, roll up your sleeves and come. And you say, okay, no, this really wasn't any value. I didn't get anything. I'll be happy to give you your money back, because then I didn't earn it. So I want to give you value. If I give you value, I keep the payment. If it's not valuable for you, I give you 100% money back. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. The link is in the chat. So for those of you that are ready, I would love to see you at the LinkedIn Visibility Masterclass.